friends.
Hi.
And welcome to the Chris and Emily podcast.
Welcome.
Where we talk about life and love and why. I think we're going to steal that slogan from Switchfoot. I like it. Like
Good
it a
one.
lot. Just off the bat right here, if you can't tell, we switched microphones, which is a very good thing. Pretty much we don't have a treated room, and we were using condenser mics, which picks up a lot of the room. So now we switched to some dynamic microphones. So it'll still hear my squeaky chair, but you'll get more of our beautiful voices than the chair. So sorry about those first ones. Probably heard that background noise.
Sorry.
That's
I
all
bumped
right.
the shades.
All right. So here we are, episode 3. We had 2 already. I do want to say episode 1, I wasn't bashing like enneagrams or enneagrams, however you say it. I was just saying I did not take the responsibility of using them properly for my life. And I do see that there is benefit for them. So just getting that out of the way.
Is this how it's going to go? We have to apologize for things that we feel bad for.
It was something I was thinking about because, like, you listen back and it just sounds like I'm kind of like bashing it.
Oh man, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to just be apologizing all the time.
I mean, I'm not apologizing.
Now you're apologizing that you're apologizing.
Right. Well,
maybe just
I just don't want any hate speech coming from anyone.
Never from our listeners.
Right. So anyways, here we are. What's happened since the last time we
took the children to the beach.
Yes, that was it was fun. Okay, so we have this little beach. Is that Lake Fenton or Silver Lake? One of those. I think it's Lake Fenton. Yeah, that would make sense for it to be Lake Fenton. So we have like this little beach that we go to because it's not a big beach and there's not a lot of people. So it's really nice to go there, but there's like a restaurant right next door to it. And so anybody who like brings their kids like eating, they usually like come and play on the playground and the beach while they're waiting for their food. But it's pretty cool because like they just pull up their boat or their pontoon and then you eat on like this dock. So we're just hanging out at the beach next to it, and John Wentworth's kids were there, and they said hi to me. And it's funny because his son, I do video work for John. He's a local realtor, and his son, he's a little jokester, so he always makes up random names to call me besides Chris. And, I think he's doing it out of just being funny, but maybe he didn't know my name. But actually, I think he does because the other day he actually said my name. He's like, "Oh, it's Chris." And I was like, "Oh, yes, he got my name right."
That had to have been nice.
Yeah. Anyways, we saw them there. The kids were like so excited about swimming. They loved it and like giggling like crazy, and it was adorable and fun. But I'll let you explain this part. When we were leaving, what happened, Emily?
Well, we went later in the evening because Chris had drum lessons, and we thought we would only be about an hour at the beach. So while Chris was gone with drum lessons, I had explained to the kids, because we have been struggling with leaving anywhere that's fun. The kids are just mostly Gideon's kind of the ringleader because Zeal will do anything Gideon does, and she feeds from his emotion. So I had talked to them several times, explaining to them we are going to go to the beach. We are not going to be there long, but it will be fun and we will have a good time. And when we say it's time to go, then you need to say what? Gideon always replies, "Yes, Mom," or "Okay, Mom." So, of course, I've told them several times, went through it over and over again. He pinky promised me. And we get to the beach, play, have a good time. And leaving, of course. And I think it didn't help that, too, the whole time we were there were some older kids there, but right just before we left, 2 younger kids Gideon's age came, and he is like a people person 100%. If there is somebody that he wants to like talk to or hang out with, he will just go and do it. And he is just, oh my gosh, I love it, but it's kind of stressful at the same time because he's so friendly to every single person. So anyways, he just wasn't having it. He started swimming away. I did the whole 15 minutes, buddy. 15 minutes.
Yeah, we warned him several times.
And then
like,
5 minutes,
we're gonna
buddy.
leave soon.
5 minutes is less than 15 minutes. So
and then like do one more little swim, and then we're gonna pack up our stuff.
And then we do 5 minutes, and then we say pick one more thing to do, and then he just was like, no, I'm not leaving. No, I want to stay here forever. And Zeal, of course, was screaming at that point.
It. Yeah. And we're both just like trying to get these 2 kids to like leave the beach. And there's like people there now. And it's just funny because you think like, I mean, we did everything right, you know, like how we're supposed to like, we prepared them, you know, of exactly what's going to happen. Like, I think that's a huge thing, and we do that a lot. Like, before we do something, we lay it out of like, this is what it's going to be, this is what it's going to be like, and then this will happen, and you will do this. Like, so like we set like boundaries and expectations whenever we do stuff for the kids, and I just feel like sometimes you just can't. It doesn't even matter.
Well,
like,
Gideon's such an emotional age for. And he just will. But then again, he really cares about our emotions too. So today, or was it yesterday, we were deciding to do something outside and do something fun. And he told me, Mom, so on the ride home, they both were screaming. Zeal was screaming. Gideon was crying. And his thing was, I asked him, why did you do that after you promised me? You still acted the way you said you would not act. And he replied, oh, I didn't realize how fun the beach was going to be. He just kept saying, it was just so fun. It was just too much fun. I didn't know it was going to be so fun.
Yeah. And we're just like, buddy, you still have to, act like a normal person.
But we did play the card because I realized he really cares about how he made us feel.
Totally.
So I did say, you really hurt our feelings because you promised us something and you did not keep your promise.
Right.
And that really hurt our feelings. So yesterday we gave him, an opportunity to kind of redeem himself. Mm-hmm. And we chose something else that he loves to do and that he hates to leave, which is go to my parents' house. Yeah. And he told me, I promised that to be good and I'm going to keep my promise. Mm-hmm. And he did. He kept his promise.
Yeah.
We left with,
Yeah, he woke up from nap and he said, I'm going to keep my promise today. Mm-hmm. And so, we lost a battle the other day, but I think the way we responded was really nice. And
on the drive home from yesterday, I told him, Gideon, you did so good and you blessed Mommy and Daddy's heart because you really, cared about how you made us feel the other day, and then you really made it, right today. Mm-hmm. And he lit up when I told him that, and I think it was this morning, he says, because we are going to try the beach thing again after nap. Because it's 90 degrees outside. Yeah. But he told me this morning, Mom, I want to go to the beach again, and I know that being a good boy blesses you and Daddy, and I want to bless your heart. And it was so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that he said that.
One of the funny things was, it's hard to stay calm and not get angry when they're screaming, and just flopping around. You're trying to just basically carry them away from the beach.
We'll carry them, their shoes,
and all the stuff.
3 bags of things that we decided to bring.
Yeah, but as I'm like holding his hand, trying to get him to walk away, he goes, I just want to live at the beach. I just want this to be our house. And I'm like, buddy, someday we'll get a house on the lake, maybe. So
We've been like 40
it
years.
was just so funny. It was like, you're so dramatic. like I know it was fun, but it's just time to go and go to sleep.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Well,
it was bedtime.
Well, also, wait, was that the night where we went home and the power was out?
No, that was last night. Or yesterday. That was for my parents' house.
Oh.
Whenever we went to my parents' house and came home.
Yeah, basically.
So was that last night? Yeah, that was last night. Because this morning Gideon woke up and said...
No, it had to be 2 nights ago.
My days are mixed up.
Yeah. That was 2 nights ago.
Yeah, okay.
But anyways, yeah, it was after the beach. The day after the beach, we went to her parents' house, had a good day with the kids. We get home and we're pulling up in the parking lot and there's like a tree that's like cut in half. Not even cut in half, just split and just hanging there. And then someone's car window was like shattered, like the back window. We're like, what's happening? And like a big old storm was coming. And we noticed that
It had already gone.
I guess it came,
it wasn't
but
coming.
it didn't
was
rain.
Gone.
A big windstorm came.
The windstorm, yeah.
But we were out of power and that was kind of fun.
We realized that we would never survive.
We don't have any flashlights besides our phones. And I had like 1% left on my phone, so I couldn't even charge it. Emily had a full thing, but...
What's that say?
We needed to go to the grocery store. We didn't have like any food in the house. I'm just like, what is happening? So we found some fake candles that work with batteries and turned those on and played charades. And
well, my mom and dad were at the grocery store because they came right behind us when we left their house because they had to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, they gave us some food.
They called us and was like, Walmart's out of power, but they had their generator on, so they were still able to go there. But yeah, so they're like, what do you need? And we're like, oh, bless you.
Yeah, we should have asked for a flashlight, but
we would not survive. Like the stress that hit my shoulders, the stress that hit my shoulders when I realized it's definitely childhood stuff because as a child, we always seem to live in a house.
About how long you went without power? What was that?
I don't remember
when you say it was like 10 days?
It was like 10 days, but I don't remember what house it
for
was.
A kid.
So how
old were you? Like,
oh man, I can't remember what house it was. So that would be
like a tween, or like
I probably was younger than a tween.
Yeah, so you're like 10 years old or something, or 8 or 9.
It had to have been because we lived in Fenton.
And 10 days without power. That's crazy.
And when I was about maybe 10, maybe we moved to Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And so that house seemed to always do pretty well. No, that's not true. Because when we moved in, the power was out. There was a ice storm.
That's funny. Every house you guys
they've been
move
bad
into
at
has
keeping
really bad
their,
power problems.
Yeah.
Like the one now, that's what was funny about it is we were over there and they had power. And their house now is like notorious for losing power during storms.
What is it called? Transformer is right in our front yard. Like it's on the pole in the front yard. And this last time, a squirrel lodged itself in there and electrocuted itself and it shot the power out. And that's happened 2 times since we lived there. So anyways, the panic that hit me was like
the same
because when we lost power from those horrible houses, they were great houses, but bad houses with electricity. And I guess the power would sure enough be out for like at least 3 days if it went out before consumers or whatever would come and be able to fix it. So I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of and I'm sure it's because of my whole family reacting like, oh, what? Come on. Like, because we all had to share a shower and we all had to share toilets and we all, it was just a higher stress level. That many people. Yeah.
Tell everyone how much people you have or you lived with. How many siblings do you have?
I have 8 or 7. I'm one of 8.
Yeah,
4
that's
girls
crazy.
and 4
And then how many
boys.
dogs did you guys have at that time too? 2?
We usually always had about 2 till now.
And so, yeah, that's just a lot of people in general.
Yes. I mean,
That's crazy.
we lived in Fenton in a 3-bedroom ranch, and that was 7 kids.
So all 4 girls or 3 girls
Well, I
were
guess
in one room.
they made 2 bedrooms or something like that downstairs, but that
made-
basement always flooded, so they would always end up being like upstairs anyways.
That's funny.
So yeah, it was always cramped. And then we moved to a huge house. My parents, a little backstory. My parents, my mom was going through the newspaper one day, and she found an ad very randomly about managing an alpaca ranch. And she
I love that you
told
guys
my
did
dad,
that.
and my dad was like, "You're insane." And she said, "I'm going to go get an interview with this person and I want us to move," because it like included a farmhouse on 17 acres and manage this alpaca ranch for a doctor.
Yeah, that's like awesome.
Yes. So my mom went and she brought all of my brothers with her, or at least 2 of them. And because Sam was way small and Brad didn't really want to be involved. So both my brothers went, and he loved that they were like, we were a big family. He loved everything about us. So we got the job. He offered it to us, and my mom went home and told my dad, and he was like, "Are you serious?" And
She's like, "Pack it up."
So we did. We packed it up
awesome.
and we moved to Holly and lived in this gorgeous, too good to be true, 17 acres, lakefront. I was in the backyard, the lake. And
The lake back.
it was huge, a huge house, more than we knew what to do with. And it was a dream come true. We lived there for 3 years.
3 years. And then you moved to the house that you're in now.
Yep.
Cool.
We moved to the house that we are in now, still in Holly, and they've lived there for almost 15 years. And it's currently up for sale.
It is for sale.
So it's very
So
sad.
just ignore what we said about the power thing and buy it.
Yeah, that house has been okay. It's been just that whole few random, but not really
squirrels.
from like this. Like I don't think it's ever gone out really in the dead of winter or like unless it was a huge storm.
And like everybody lost power. Or
And it would be
something.
like but I remember. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
I don't know. For whatever reason, I got stressed out. And obviously, when you have children, they don't understand.
Yeah,
and
it was like a bummer for like entertainment purposes because like we couldn't watch Netflix or like put a show on for the kids, but I think it was really refreshing to not
they
have
enjoyed.
to.
Once we explained it to them like 5 or 6 times, and Gideon went through
He
every
kept saying like everything, and we're like, no, that takes
He's like,
power.
"Can I just watch a show? Nobody. Can I just I want
Turn
to
on
go
the
in my
light.
room and we were
or
like,
open the
"No."
fridge and see the light in there. He just kept asking about
Yeah.
everything. I'm like, no, like nothing
But
works.
then I realized that night, because it wasn't supposed to be until like 11 that night. So after we got the kids to sleep, I was laying in bed and had like
Yeah, he woke
one
me
of
up.
those mom moments of like opening my eyes and just remembering something randomly. And I had remembered that Gideon went through the house or the apartment and turned on all, like trying to see if any of the lights were working. And I was like, oh my gosh, the power's going to come on at 11 o'clock tonight. And
Well, it actually was
the whole
past
house.
the time that it said. I think it happened at like 1 or something. But you woke me up and you're like, hey, is all the lights in the house going to turn on when the power comes back? And I was like, I don't really care. Like,
he
I just
didn't
went back
care.
to sleep.
So I shut off. I remember, and I went and shut off Gideon's light. And then I didn't really think about any other light. And
then
when
did
it
you
came
wake
on-
me up when the power came
No,
on?
it beeped. The
I
smoke
woke
alarms
up when that
beeped.
happened.
And then the light
And light in the hall came on.
light came on. And it was
That's
like,
it.
oh, and I was like,
Yeah, it was like, yes, the power's on.
And then the air, that
Yeah.
blessed air,
Yeah.
the sweet, sweet sound of that air conditioning starting up,
Yep.
cooling off.
Ruining our environment, right? I actually don't know
I-
that argument of why
Pollution.
AC is bad or not, but apparently it is.
I don't realize how many noises, like, of the light hums of electronics that make me fall asleep.
Pulsing our brains and giving us tumors. Speaking of brain stuff, I did want to talk about this a little bit. I discovered something, and I'm not getting all hippie and weird on people. I just, I was listening to, like, I was watching, like, an Instagram story of this dude, kind of inspirational coach dude, ex-NFL guy. And he was saying, like, that he practices, like focus and breathing techniques and stuff. And he also listens to this thing, like, called binaural beats. And I was like, oh, what's binaural beats? Because, you know, I play drums and I like beats. And so I like
and
check
I like
it out.
to eat beets.
Right. And so so I check it out, and basically, I mean, it's not what you think. It's not a drum beat. Basically, you know, and I haven't done any research on this, on whether it's legit or placebo or whatnot. But it's basically just like this solid noise, like nonstop, in a certain frequency range. Like there's certain hertz, like 432 hertz or something. And it just plays like nonstop. And so when you put headphones on and you turn that up, it's just sending frequency, like it's sending vibrations to a certain part of your brain. And I guess certain hertz affects different parts of your brain in different ways. So you can target, now this is, you know, without any research, this is me saying this. So you can target certain, like, parts of your brain, like the frontal lobe, for like creative things.
Let's just pretend like Chris just found out about this and he's telling it to me for the first time. This is what
I basically am. So
this is what you guys get to hear.
Yeah. So
the researched.
Yeah. And, you know, next episode I might come back and be like, it's all fake. So who knows, but it's kind of cool. So, and it's crazy because there's like ones that on YouTube where like people emulate how it feels to like be high on marijuana and stuff like that. Like it's like different things, like it affects your brain. I don't know if that's true. I didn't test that one.
I think it probably goes for each person as their own too.
Right. Like, I'm sure it affects different people differently. The thing that you
loved or was listening to that calmed you gave me like anxiety.
Yeah, there was one that I listened to, and I don't know if this changes like the effect of it, but there was like a certain hertz going, so it's just like nonstop, which could be annoying to some people. But you can like literally feel like your brain kind of moving or like your nose tingling a little bit. And then you just like sit there like quietly and don't think about anything. It's kind of really nice. Like it is really calming. But I found this one that had this noise that was constant for the binaural part. And then on top of that, there was just some light piano. And then there was also wave sounds. But, you know, Emily thinks of waves as like death and destruction, and I was just thinking,
what did I say? I can't remember.
I was like laying on the beach, like relaxing, you know, and hearing.
I think I described it as, well, it didn't sound it wasn't just waves. It was a tune behind the waves.
There was a piano, and it was
on
nice.
top
it was like,
of
ding,
one other sound that I can't. Probably the one that you are talking about.
The piano?
That it's hidden.
Oh yeah, the constant.
So
that's
all
the
of
binaural
those together
part.
It was making me feel like there were two different sounds that shouldn't have been together.
You just got to practice more meditation.
Because it was like a really consistent, deep sound with like a ting, ting, ting.
That's
and it
like
was like,
the piano that was in it.
It was making me stressed out.
Piano wasn't consistent. It was just like every now and then. But
I didn't like it.
Anyways, binaural beats. Check it out. Let me know if it's legit. Like, we should just all do like experiments.
Well, the consistent one, because there was the one that was like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I was just going to say that there was one that had it hidden. You were saying how it's like hidden behind the piano and the waves.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one you showed me that was just raw.
Yeah,
and
without piano and waves.
The raw one was making me feel anxious.
Yeah,
I felt like it was just a never-ending thing that was never going to end.
It is never-ending, but there's like certain ones, and I think that just meant like those hertz, that frequency range for you was not right. You know, like
I need
maybe
to find
that
my
was
frequency.
Yeah, and I think those ones were like in the 400s, but maybe you needed one that was like in 700s.
Would that be deeper or higher? I need something deeper.
I think it's deeper. Well, shoot, I don't know. Actually, it might not be deeper. I'm just trying to think of an EQ like spectrum, but I don't know exactly how they're doing this. So
I think I just
I'm
need
not
peace
the audio
and quiet.
expert, but
sorry.
I know only
my lips hit the microphone. I just think I need peace and quiet.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it too, but
I just need no sound.
It was just very interesting. Like I legit felt when I first listened to one, there was one on YouTube that I listened to before I even told you about it. I found one on YouTube and I was just like, oh, what's this? And I legit like felt very calm and like I wanted to fall asleep. And I was just sitting there with my eyes closed and like, I don't know, like it's so weird, but like I feel like I've always been pretty good at like blocking things out. Like you just sit there and just like you can just be like mindless. And I don't know anything about like meditation and all that weird stuff.
You can block things out, but you can't like pick and choose sounds to listen to in giant groups of people. Like I can
pick and choose sounds in music.
Right.
I guess it just depends on what I want. What I want to do. Like, like if I really want to listen to a conversation across the room while everybody's talking, then I will.
There's been multiple times that you will not listen to me and hear what I'm saying.
No, if my focus is on something, then it usually stays there. But if I have I guess I gotta watch my words. I was gonna say if I have reason enough to change that focus, then I can.
That's okay. I understand.
But you
Let's just put it this way.
Reason enough. I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying.
Let's just put it this way. If he is going to do a drum cover that evening, the entire day, I should just not talk because he is in his own little world.
Here's the deal with the drum videos. When I'm like ready to make them, I don't play very often and I don't get time to practice or rehearse. So I'm literally preparing for it in my mind and listening to it.
I understand. You don't have to
visualizing.
I totally get it. I just think it's funny because I've multiple times have said him not even telling me that he's planning on going to record.
Yes, this is true.
And I will say, tell him something, and he will, totally not hear me. And then I will say,
thinking about something at that time, though.
You're going to film a drum cover tonight, aren't you? Yep.
Yeah, but. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. You've always been that way. It's not a surprise to me. I married it.
I don't feel like I'm one of those people that like can't multitask very good. Like I can multitask on.
You don't feel like you are? Is that what you said? You don't feel like you are that person, or you feel like you can multitask?
I can multitask really well. You don't think I can, but I think it's certain things I can't multitask very well with. Like the things that really, again with the words, but the things that really interest me, I can multitask all day. Or if there's like something, I don't know, like
I get what you mean. If
like
it's something you're passionate about,
yeah, like the work that I do, like video,
and not all the time are you passionate about like making sure our children eat and that they have a diaper change.
Right.
I get it. Okay. You don't have to feel bad about this. I get it. You don't.
Yeah, I guess it.
Because I'm not. It's not supposed to be.
I do
I'm not
those
trying
things.
to jab at you, but sometimes you don't.
I know that.
You forget to feed our children, but they are clean and our diapers are changed.
Usually, it's like a day that I'm like decided
to
like
drum cover.
Yeah, or like it's a day I decide like, hey, I'm going to eat better and eat like way less than I usually do.
And our children will too.
Then, right. So it's like, we're all in this together type of thing. But no, I feed the kids.
You do. But their diapers aren't changed.
I do pretty good, but I do think that Zeal could get potty trained already because she's
Honey,
wanting to.
Potty trainer, please, by all means, do it.
I just see.
He
I
says
don't.
this and then
I'm
he
not
waits
a
for me.
multitasker.
Oh my gosh.
I can't do that.
I tried a
and
day
feed her.
of potty training and she peed on the floor every single time. We would sit on the toilet.
That's part of it. Like Gideon didn't do that because we waited so long till he was ready. But like everybody says, like they're just gonna pee on the floor for like 2 or 3 days.
Do you know how much stress I put into Gideon's potty training him?
All I'm saying is,
We fought him
them
tooth
diapers
and
are
nail.
going quick nowadays.
Well,
she pees like
this
once.
This is why he says it. This is why he says that she needs to be potty trained. She pees in her diaper and she recognizes that
and
she
she's
had
going, pee.
She recognized
And
that she
rips it
had
off right there.
peed and she doesn't like to sit in her pee diaper, which I understand, and that's a first
All right,
step.
you potty train her, and I'll start feeding her more.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Anyways, we can move on.
Well, I just wanted to say that we fought Gideon because he showed all signs, and he literally fought us till he was 3.5, about 3,
Yeah.
and a little younger than 3.5. And one day he literally woke up and decided to go on the toilet, and he never looked back.
And I think he's only had like 2 accidents, maybe like 5, if
like
that.
those are so
because he like couldn't make it to the bathroom.
Yes,
that's it.
They're not. I mean, he has just been done. Like
Yeah,
he was
he's great.
He didn't.
I'm
be
just saying, I'm ready for 2 kids to be like that.
Oh my gosh, yes. But Zeal is like, she doesn't recognize when she has to pee. She recognizes after she went.
I don't know.
And she wants her diaper changed. And she takes
Sometimes
it off.
she knows, but like she just doesn't really care. Like she doesn't want to go on the toilet. I know that.
And she was sick, and then she got better, and she had a little bit of a rash.
I do
so that
think
was getting
that-
her like even more uncomfortable. Now she doesn't care.
I think we should get
Again.
her own little toilet,
I think so,
and I
too.
think she would go on that.
I was going to tell you
Easy.
too. Well, we can talk about that later. But I was going to say we should get her some pull-on diapers instead of the Velcro ones. She would
All right.
probably pull them down herself and sit. But anyways, we can move on.
Yeah. So,
What's the time?
right, we don't have too much time today. Wow, that
Perfect.
by quick. Good
It
golly.
goes by fast when you're having fun.
So I was gonna say we should all do, whoever's listening to this, let's do a binaural beats experiment.
Fun.
And then we could tell each other if it worked or what we thought about it, or what research we have discovered. Also, I did want to talk about this before we have to wake the kids up for nap to try the beach again.
Pray for us.
Yeah. Well, this will be after that happens, so we're just going to believe in faith that it went well. Or you believe in faith as you're listening to this. Anyways, so I'm kind of at a crossroads with life and career, and I'd say we're definitely at a crossroads in a lot of things right now. Like we're trying to decide if we sign our lease that starts in 3 days, or if we don't do that. But I guess we don't really have another option. So, but if something worked out, I don't know. Anyways, we're trying to decide what we're gonna do, living wise.
We don't want to live in these apartments anymore.
Yeah, but
Or any apartments.
yeah, I mean that's always been our dream to have a house. It's just we're not ready financially for a house. Yeah, and so that's kind of a bummer. But we're still hanging in there. And
You guys
also,
are probably thinking,
yeah,
welcome to the real world.
yeah.
And we get it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's been 10 years of this, not being able to get a house type of thing. So it is frustrating. And now we have 2 toddlers, and
Wait, you said 10 years?
Yeah, I graduated when I was 18.
Well, we weren't ready to get a house then.
8 years.
It's been
we've almost been married 8 years.
It's been like 5 years of us trying to get a house, because before we didn't know.
Yeah, but we didn't know.
Anyways, you can say whatever numbers you want to make it sound more dramatic.
Oh my gosh. No, I mean, we've always wanted like a house with a farm and horses.
Yes, that's true.
And there was property on your parents' road that we dreamed about having, and it just got bought last year. And we thought that it was, it's been for sale for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And we thought, man, this is like going to happen like for us. And then it got bought. It was like,
well, that was a crazy story because it was like
$100,000 for years, 10
for
acres.
like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it was that much for as long as my family lived there. And it was like,
and then last
10 years,
year
and then,
it dropped to $30,000.
Well, no, that first dropped to 75 for a while. Right. And that's what we were dreaming about.
Well, and then it just all of a sudden dropped to like 30. And we were like, what in the world can we do like today so that we can just get this property, like, and like put a trailer on it and live in it or something, like, so we can just have it. And somebody bought it in like a day.
Day later, yeah. And guess what they're doing? They're living in a trailer
and building a house
on the property. Well, I don't even know if they're building a house. It's been over a year.
Well, they had an excavator out there. I think they're just working on it. So, but yeah.
They've been there all winter too.
That was annoying.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyway, so we're just exploring our shelter options here and deciding things.
I think with us, we think outside the box. We don't want to be, I don't know. We try to think outside the box with our options and keep everything open and weigh them. But we've always been outside the box thinkers.
Yeah. And so now
that people would probably think we're insane, but it's what brings us like peace and comfort.
Yeah. And I think that's just like the freedom that comes with simplicity has always been an attraction to us. Like, just simplicity, and there's just so much freedom in that, and like not being forced to live a certain way or pay this certain amount of money just because you have to. There's just alternate ways, to that. And, now like with my work, I'm not at all saying that I'm done doing video. But I am starting to think about the future. And like, I don't know. I've been asking myself the question, can I see myself still doing video in 5 years or 10 years? And if not, what can I do what would I be doing instead in 5 to 10 years? Like, what could I see myself doing? What would be more long-term type of thing? Not that video isn't, not that I'm not willing to like learn more things and put more work into learning the craft, because I'm always going to do this. Like, I just love it. Ultimately, I would love to like have some sort of online career. Like, I've been trying to do YouTube since 2009. So, which we did just get a YouTube check last week, which is very nice. That's like, it's just like a reminder that it can work.
It's a nice little bonus every once in a while.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I guess that's still kind of the ultimate dream, as it is, with every 9-year-old in the world now. They all want to be a YouTuber as well. So I could see myself doing that, which is basically the same thing I'm doing now. It's just all making stuff for myself, which is, awesome. But also, I've always saw myself like someday when I'm old, like in my 50s, doing like
the most random. You guys, let's try to guess really quick before he says it. What do you think that Chris could see himself doing when he's in his 50s? Let's just take a pause.
Okay. I could just tell you now that nobody would ever. Well, I mean, some people would be like, "Oh yeah," but I don't think anybody would guess it.
Okay, go ahead, tell them.
But pretty much, I was thinking about doing farrier services. If you don't know what that is, it's like horse feet and horseshoeing. So like horses need their feet taken care of and cleaned and all that.
Trimmed. Yeah,
trimmed, and it's cool. And I've worked at several horse farms over the years, mucking stalls and all that. Really big horse farms. And one in particular, I helped a guy for a little bit during the day. And this was like maybe 6 years ago. Helped a farrier, and it was just awesome. And I remember doing it when I was a kid at my grandma's house because she's got horses, and she was teaching me how to clean out the feet and everything. And so it's always interested me. And so I don't know, I'm thinking about that. Like, do I have to wait till I'm old? You know, I just always pictured like retiring from whatever I did in life and then just doing that for fun, you know, for some extra money and just.
I could totally see it.
Fun.
I don't think.
So the question is, does it happen, you know, almost 30 years earlier than I anticipated?
I don't think you could ever start too early. You could
I know, you can't start too early.
Start learning.
I guess I have started to learn some things from the internet. In the United States, you don't need certification to do it. So you don't have to take a course. You don't have to do anything like that. You can just literally go out tomorrow and start being a farrier. But there is room for like a lot of injury to the horse. So you want to know what you're doing. So I'm definitely not starting anytime soon within the next few months, but they
have so many more nerves than you think that they would in that connect to their feet all the way up through their leg into their shoulder.
Right. And even, you know, horseshoeing, I don't have a forge. I've never forged steel, but that's always been something that's really cool just because I like, you know, like medieval stuff and swords and that. And I wouldn't be
a blacksmith.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Which I actually have ancestors who were blacksmiths.
It's
according to Ancestry, there was one
through your
that
bloods.
was
it's running through your blood.
Yeah, my bloods. Which I thought was cool, but a lot of them were farmers, I believe. That's what ancestry.com told me. So, which we should talk about that in another episode, but we need to get your test done. Because I thought, I mean, this is a side note, but I thought I was more Irish and German than anything. But those are...
He hoped he was.
Yeah, I mean, I am Irish, but I'm more English and Scottish and Irish. And then German is like last, which I thought I was more German than anything. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, so I'm thinking about like farrier services, and that doesn't mean I'm stopping video, and that might be a time in life where I do both. I do think it'd be fun and cool, and you know, maybe I'll just be a cowboy for a few years and then do something else. I don't know. It's weird to be at like, and I know there's so much more in my life, and I've only been in the real world for 10 years and stuff like that, but I don't know. I feel like 10 years later, I'm again at a I don't know what I want to do with my life type of...
A crossroads is what they call it. It's a crossroad.
Yeah, and so...
I think that's normal, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you call it a quarter life crisis, but I don't know. I'm not in a crisis, but I am just exploring every option right now. I love what I'm doing now, but I know that there's something more for me, even more fulfilling. And I don't know, maybe video, and maybe that just means, you know, a shift in my own video business to, you know, just creating different type of stuff for different people or whatever. But I don't know, that's where my headspace is lately. So I'm just gonna continue to listen to binaural beats and figure out what I need to do.
Watch YouTube videos about blacksmith.
Yeah.
And make videos. I think you can do it all. You can do it all.
Yeah.
Do whatever you love to do and do it all the time.
Yeah, that's the nice thing is like you support just what I want to do. and I guess I support what you want to do too, but like not a lot of people get that. And also there is like a temptation to just I guess I'm speaking to like, I mean everybody, but I was gonna say like the regular, well, the choir, I was just gonna say to like a regular man.
All of his
well, I was gonna say I'm speaking to like the regular man who's like gotta like take care of things and stuff. Right. But there is
average Joe.
Not that people are average, but I don't. You know what? I hate like having to sound politically correct because somebody's going to be offended.
I'm not
just
afraid.
Get over yourself if I say something, and usually it's not.
Well, just apologize.
In the wrong
apologize
way.
Now for everything. Sorry about what we might say.
It's my Enneagram type. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm a 9, so I don't know. We need to take that again because it honestly has been too long.
Anyway, so I'm just saying, like, there is a temptation there to just do the average like thing, like just go work in a shop on an assembly line like my grandpa and my dad did, and just make this set amount an hour and live for the weekend. Basically like and I've done that and I hate it, but at the same time it's almost like, well, it's just easier, like there's.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't feel nervous and insecure financially about the choices that we make together that you go do. And it is scary. And I have not always acted the way I should have. And I definitely have made you feel from time to time like you do need to do that. And
I mean,
your first thought is, oh my gosh, I would be able to make consistent money and actually make Emily and the kids feel like
right, and like get a house easier type of situation, and we can get everything.
But in the big picture,
we wanted,
it's not going to be what is for us, because he will be miserable, and we will be getting all the things that we thought we wanted. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that we want things,
No, that's what I'm saying. The things that we thought we would make us, feel
right, like
more secure, like a house, or, whatever we want to get the kids, or.
But I do think that like a house would bring us a lot of happiness.
Yeah, but would it bring us more happiness than you being with us? Because you would be working
like the trade-off.
All weekend, and you would be working all week.
Right.
Because you would still be you still have commitments to video stuff.
Right, I know. And so I guess that's like the decision. And it's like
we've prayed about it, thought about it.
Yeah.
I feel like every time you're seriously 2 seconds away from making that decision, God brings us some kind of encouraging word somewhere random. It has been so random. Somebody that we have not heard from in a very long time will text him to encourage him with his business, or someone will come over. It's crazy. It's been consistently several times that we've felt
right. And I guess
we just need to do something.
Just be like, there's your answer right there.
But then we're still.
But I do also, just have like. I just do have other interests too, like I would like to start gigging a little more, like drum wise. Yeah. And I do love horses, and you're starting to work with horses. And I know that that's going to be in our future, like with our kids, like we're going to have like some horses on whatever property we get. So starting now to prepare for that, whenever that is, whether it's 5 years from now or 10, if I can have like a knowledge and skill set to create an income for when we have that, that'd be awesome. Because horses are expensive.
And I think you just take it a step at a time. Like right now, he got invited to come to the barn while the farrier's there to talk to him, pick his brain a little bit. So,
but also, what I wanted to say about that is, so you don't need any formal training or certification or anything, but there is training. There is a course at Michigan State, which I feel like
A traitor.
like an enemy, just like almost wanting to go take this course.
Well, now I have a question.
Go
Why is
blue.
it U of M cool enough to have a farrier class?
Well, they just Lansing has like a okay, all right. U of M is not that MSU isn't, but U of M is like great at taking care of people. MSU is like animals. Seriously, like MSU is like really known for their horse facility. U of M is like the people department.
Chicken dinner.
So,
no, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying.
I have no preference either way.
No, they both
just so
have
you know,
great
I just
stuff.
love to pick at.
I'm just a Michigan fan, so it is what it is. That's the
Even
way
though
I
they're
was
both
raised.
Michigan.
Yeah, Emily just doesn't
I don't
get
get it.
sports.
I don't get
She doesn't get to like say anything about it. So there you go. And don't even mention Ohio State.
They have no beef with me. So go ahead.
Anyways, I was gonna say there is a course at Michigan State. I think what was it? 6 weeks? 12 weeks.
12
it's a
weeks
12
and 24
week.
or 24 weeks.
Yeah, there's two different ones. And I don't know anything about college or schooling or anything like that. I graduated high school with a 1.6 with intention of never going to school ever or having to do any sort of more schooling. You know, like school is not my thing. But there is a course and they only take like 6 people each semester. And it's a lot of money for 12 weeks, which I don't have. So that's my answer right there. Like, I don't have the money. Also, there's no like FAFSA, financial aid, what a FAFSA. That's not, and I don't want to get any student loans for it. So, if I do it, I'm just going to save up the money. And then maybe one day I will take the farrier course at MSU. Otherwise,
God
in the
willing,
meantime,
of course.
Yeah, otherwise, in the meantime, I don't necessarily need it to start the business, but it is cool because part of your fees is you get all the equipment, which I didn't realize. I read the brochure. You spend like $2,000 of your tuition towards that class.
That kind of makes it better, right?
Well, I could just buy the equipment and not pay for the rest of the class. Because there's like another $9,000 in fees,
there's a lot
which is
to
paying for
learn.
the instructor and stuff, and I understand that.
We understand.
But yeah, so I don't know. Pretty much it's like 12 weeks and $12,000. So I'm not gonna
24 weeks and how much? 24?
And no, like 17. So
Okay.
it's like discounted. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Because I don't have that money.
Never.
I don't have the money for that yet. Maybe one day. But anyways, that's what we're thinking about. And
that's at the front of our mind. I think all that stuff.
Yeah, everything we just said, that's what's in our mind right now. So that was episode 3. Thanks for listening to us just ramble and literally just talk about anything that comes in our mind at that moment.
I think I want to talk about our marriage next episode.
Yes, I was going to say, in this one?
No,
But,
next episode we'll talk about marriage.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, we may or may not take them. I'm just kidding. We probably will.
Yeah, if anybody's listening, we'll...
Let us know what you want to know about our marriage.
Yeah, anything you want us to talk about.
Any wisdom.
Any opinions on
We're
things.
going to be married 8 years in August.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of wisdom from those 8 years. So
yeah,
we pretty much know.
We're almost veterans, For young people, we're veterans for sure.
Would you say we know everything? Probably almost everything.
Probably not.
Probably a few months shy of everything.
We got a few more big life things to do before we know everything.
Now I'm scared.
Like we got to buy a house.
Well.
We got to get a dog. Pretty much watch Marley and Me. And we have a couple more things to do on that list.
Okay.
Just kidding. Yeah, we gotta go through, we did go through a dog death together. Jazz. That was very sad.
Anyways, thanks for watching.
Somber note.
Thanks for listening.
Yep. Peace out.